Does anybody want to go to the area Christmas party that is next? December the 8th? Okay, December the 8th in Lebanon, that's the area, so like Green County, Campbellsville, Springfield, Bardstown, Rotary, we're talking about. It's in Lebanon. So if anybody would like to go to that, please get with me.
We need to do a promo for this Christmas dinner now. So, you guys, it's a turkey and ham.
There you go.
They're exactly from downtown, 5 miles down to a road. So it's all the white. It's a big historic brick house inside. And right before you get to the house, there's a 3-5 mile entrance. So that would be a good indicator for you to know that you're almost to their house. And then there's a building right behind the house, and that's where they'll be set up.
Good deal, Devin. Would you give a little bit of an update on what you emailed me about this FFA breakfast? Invite folks.
December 6th, 7 a.m. Pop Girls at the extension office, the Ag Council breakfast. We first do that every month. Well, the Campbellsville FFA. So every February, I know Federal County FFA meets and always puts together a good presentation and always a good show out. So we just want to make sure we're trying to do the same for Campbellsville FFA. Good program. Make it December 6th. It's great. It's free breakfast. So
Andrew will send out an email around you, but I just wanted everyone to have a moment to be able to share that with you. Also, the chamber breakfast is this Friday, day after tomorrow Friday, from 7 to 9 at the Civic Center, which is across from Druthers. And that's free, no cost. So if you'd like to stop by and network a little bit and have some breakfast, very love to have you for that. Our speaker today is Dr. Joe Hopkins, president of Campbellsville University. And I'm going to let him introduce himself any way that he wants to and the guest that he has with him. So Joe, the floor is all yours.
I'm going to start by saying that I'm supposed to be in Somerset at 2 o'clock for a meeting. So you can rest assured this one's not going to last too long, but I'll try to go fast enough that we have time for questions. I would like to introduce my wife, who has come here today to defend herself and to make sure that I stay on script. And if you haven't met Suzanne yet, she's right here at the front, and also a singer, my favorite singer, and an educator. Suzanne and I started teaching together at the University of Evansville many years ago, and have continued teaching. She's been a private music teacher and a school music teacher for many years, and we have spent our lives together singing and teaching, and so thankful to have her here. I suppose that what I was supposed to talk about today is what's happening at CU. So that's not a real glossy title for a program, but there it is. That's what we're going to talk about. What's happening at CU, and I'm just going to rifle through some things here. First of all, we're having a good time at CU. When people come up and they ask about what's happening at CU, are you having a good time? My answer is yes, I'm having a great time. I don't know about everybody around me, but I'm having a great time, and it's been a fun place. And I'm really grateful to you and to the university for the welcome that we've received there. That's my family. If you don't know, the one on the left is Vance. He's a senior at Taylor County. Suzanne is the one with the nice facial expression there, second from the left. And then that's my older son, Joseph, on the right. I'm the short guy in the family now. And Joseph is a sophomore at Samford University, which is where we were teaching just a year ago this fall. And so, yeah, we're having a good time. Some things that are going on. Enrollment at the university is healthy. I wanted to break out some numbers for you because this gets confusing sometimes. Over the years, numbers have been reported different ways from the university. And I'd kind of like to clarify that, maybe change a little bit the way we talk about our numbers, so that they really compare well to other universities when you hear about them. The old way would have said that a year ago we had 12,098 students, and now we have 12,467. I think it's a little confusing, so I'm going to break it out. The reason it's confusing is because there really isn't another university like Campbellsville in terms of who is a part of our university. So the first thing I would tell you is there are 8,091 degree-seeking students. So that's people who are in a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a doctoral degree. And so then you have 603 full-time certificate students. These are students that are in one of those vocational certificates. They're 6 months to a year and 3 months long. And there's, by the way, our technical director, Jason Root, and those programs are full-time. This person is working around the clock on that certificate. They prepare them with licensure or certification to go into a professional career like welding or HVAC or plumbing, cosmetology, barbering, the allied health services, things like medical assistance, phlebotomy and those sorts of things, and many more, and more coming on board. But 603 of those, this is as of this fall. And then what were all the rest of them? Well, almost all the rest of them are dual credit students. These are high school students who are taking college courses. And we're proud of all three of these categories, so don't get me wrong. Yes, we're proud of all 12,467 students, but when you compare our university to another university down the street or up the street, you're often going to use that first number because they probably don't have the vocational certificates. And most certainly, they don't have the number of dual credit students. We have the most dual credit students of any private school in the Commonwealth. So that's an unusual number. One of the really interesting things about dual credit right now is how Kentucky is using this to prepare students. We have students that are graduating from high school in our state who have already finished their freshman year of college. That's an incredible advantage for them going on. If those courses have been taught well, and if they've taken that seriously and they're ready for college, because now that fourth year of college could actually be the beginning of their master's degree. See, it just deepens the preparation, the talent pool that we have in our state. So I think it's a brilliant idea. We need to keep working on how we refine that and do it well. Our goal is not to be the largest provider of dual credit in the United States. Our goal is to be the best provider of dual credit in the United States, because this is a defining characteristic right now. Dual credit is something that can be really easy to get, and then you get to college and you realize, well, I'm not ready for the next course. Or it can be something that's truly a college course that gives you a leg up on the rest of the opportunity. And so that's what we intend for it to be. It is a new record this fall for our on-campus enrollment in Campbellsville. You know that we have a number of places, but just thinking about Campbellsville, because I figured today that's kind of the center of the focus. Yes, we hit a record enrollment. It was the first time that we started a fall semester with over 1,200 students. And I'm hopeful that even this spring that we'll hit a record number for on-campus enrollment. Looking at the last 3 years of enrollment at the university, there was a pretty hard fall in the numbers that we had. COVID was really tough on us, especially in our graduate programs and how we were able to recruit into those. But there has been a wonderful recovery. We're not back up to those highest marks, but we're going in the right direction. And so for that reason, I would say our enrollment right now is healthy. Not exploding, but just wonderfully healthy. And that's a great place to be when a lot of the rest of the country is falling. In fact, this past year, across the United States, college enrollments went down 1% in the aggregate summary of how that worked. So for us to be going up while the rest of the country is going down is really encouraging for us. A big part of what is going on right now is the strengthening of equality. It's something that every president is working on at every university. And so when you think about my job, at least, these matters are going to be a huge part of our work. First thing is finance. And as I think about finance, one of the things we're really trying to do is to flip our model and to make more and more of our work predictive. So we're trying to get to a place that when we, for instance, when we recruit a student into a program. We've already figured out the financing for all 4 of those years in front of them, and we know exactly how that's going to work in that program. Just being able to project and to prepare far into the future. One of the things I love doing is reading the history of this university. And those folks who started this university in 1906 were incredibly forward thinking. I think that's a lot of the reason we're here today is because of the way they started that university. They were great at building endowment, even way back there at the beginning, and thinking far off into the future. And it's our hope right now that we're building for generations that we'll never know in Campbellsville University. And so that's a big part of the financial piece. Facilities. We have a lot of things to think about with facilities. And by the way, I want to pause a moment here and introduce to you somebody that many of you will already know, but maybe in a different role. Otto Tennant retired from the university just right before Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving. And we have brought on as our new director of operations, Andy Woods, who's sitting right over here at the table. And so Andy, wave at him, we'd love to know who you are, but many of you know him. He was a big wheel with Amazon and was building buildings. He won't tell you this, but I'll tell you this. In 2021, Andy built 9 buildings across the United States, each of which was at least 1 million square feet. 9 buildings in 2021, each of which was more than 1 million square feet, or 1 million or more. That's a lot of space. So we figured he can help us to take care of some of the facilities that we have here. We're thrilled to have him on board. The facility situation at our university, you all would already know, and that is that it's a growing institution. And so we're trying to keep pace with that. At the same time, we've been there since 1906, and we have some older buildings that need some love. And so we're trying to take care of that. So it's figuring out how to take care of both pieces of that. Right now, to meet that enrollment growth that we have, we are building a small set of villages. That's 8 townhouses down at the end of one of the fields, if you go all the way to the west end of campus, just to try to catch up to what we need to do with the dorms. But right now we have still 3 students to a 2-person dorm in many of the dorms, as we just try to accommodate some of that growth and catch up. Teaching and programs are always going to be a place of emphasis, and as we work right now, the emphasis is in figuring out, are there programs that need to be refined, those that really haven't been used or that need to be modified, and then where are the new programs that we need to develop. Athletics is always going to be a place of emphasis in our university. We're really good at it, and we're going to stay there. It's my goal for us to have championship level teams, and you'll hear me say this more than once, but I'll say it here. If we're going to play, we might as well win. So that's just kind of the philosophy that we go by. But I think it's also a great opportunity to show the character and the integrity of who we are. And I hope that every time our students step on the field, that you don't just see a team playing, but you see students of character who are representing you as the community and representing our university well. Student life is a great place for us to continue to grow. There's so many incredible things we can do. And I'll say another piece about that as we get to the community. The next item is curriculum development. And there we're really talking about the same thing I was saying a moment ago with teaching programs. So many different emerging opportunities around the corner. Faculty development, that's one that I think we're going to find a lot of opportunity to invest in. And that essentially means we hire somebody into our programs, but then how do we help them to keep growing? How do we keep investing in their teaching ability so that they stay on the front edge and so that they're recognized as national leaders in their profession? We have those, but that's something that we have to continuously cultivate, and I think we can do better and better and better in the years ahead. Accreditation and guild, those are things that you might not think about, but we wake up thinking about them every day, don't we, Frank Cheatham? And essentially that means that it's not our intention to simply check a box and to be compliant as an institution, But we want to make sure that we do these things the very best. And so folks like Frank Cheatham and Donna Hedgepat and others are watching that for us carefully. Lastly, a lot of emphasis is going into this idea of strategic planning right now. We're trying to get ahead of ourselves 5 years, all the way up to 2028, so that we can have a roadmap for how the university is going to grow and develop in the 5 years to come. So you may hear more and more about that in the time to come. Well, one of my big jobs, along with those, is deepening relationships. And because of who we are as a university, it's a little more complex than it might be in some cases. We are private, meaning that we don't receive some of the state money that you generously give to taxes each and every month, but we do need to have a close relationship with our state, as many of our students benefit directly from state money through the Keys Fund or the Work Ready Fund or different kinds of scholarship opportunities. And so we do actually spend a lot of time in Frankfurt and working with representatives from across the state to make sure that our university is well positioned for the sake of our students. Of course, church is a huge part of our relationship, and this has been a great place, a fun place for me to work. You may know that I am a minister, that I've been a worship pastor since I was 19 years old, and ordained Southern Baptist pastor. But the church for our university is really a very broad church. It's all kinds of denominations, and we have developed some wonderful relationship with all kinds of churches across the Commonwealth in the past 116 years, and it's our intention to just continue deepening those relationships. Lastly, and probably most vitally for this conversation, is the community and how we relate to the community. There are so many exciting things going on as we think about what Campbellsville University means to you and what you can mean to us. It could be something as simple as how do we get more students right down here on this street. How many of you were here for the open house event back before Thanksgiving, where we had the downtown lit up and yeah, you see the heads nodding. It's just an incredible opportunity. And I was looking around for students and I saw some, but I didn't see enough. We'd love to have more students engaging with the community in that way. We'd like to have more students engaging with industry and businesses around the community, and to implant them as apprentices and interns, whatever way might be possible. In addition to that, we have some wonderful relationships that are starting with the community. It actually started right here at Rotary. I wanted to mention our men's volleyball team. You may remember we had a conversation here the other day as our men's volleyball coach came and gave a great introduction to his work. And as an invitation, he said, hey, if somebody want to come to a game, get to know our students, that'd be fabulous. They'd love to get to know you. And we need some folks that would adopt some of them. And one family, the Pogues, just took that up as their personal mission. And I hope many of you will follow this example. But they kind of adopted our volleyball team, our men's volleyball team. They really have. In fact, last night they had a birthday party at their house for one of our men's. It's an amazing thing. If you offer your washing machine, students show up. And if you cook for them, they show up. And really, I think that most special time is looking over, having had that time around the kitchen table, around the dining room table, to look over in the corner of their eye and see one of you at their practice or at their game or cheering for them at a band concert or whatever it might be. Don't ever doubt the impact that you have in the community on our students, encouraging them to be whatever they're going to be in whatever community they go to. Maybe they wind up here in Campbellsville, maybe not, maybe they go beyond, but what a great investment you're making in the future. And of course, in the area of scholarship, you may know that there's no way that tuition alone can support our university. We simply will not survive financially. We are supported by tuition, yes, but also by generous donors who span that gap that remains And that's how our students are able to take part in the educational opportunity at Campbellsville. So I'm really grateful for that kind of scholarship. I'm grateful for partnerships, and they're wonderful partnerships that are bubbling up all around Taylor County and beyond. And we can talk about some of those in future. And then economic impact. I just brought these. You all have probably seen these before, but just what a cool thing. In the Commonwealth, the impact in 2021, we haven't done the COVID version of this, but in 2021, the economic impact of this university was 295 million. So if you take the national impact, our national impact was over $300 million on the economy. But just Campbellsville alone, economic impact just on the Campbellsville Taylor County community was $174 million per year on this economy. And so we're grateful that we have that kind of partnership, and it's my hope that the economic impact of the university will be something that continues to increase in the days ahead. So let's talk about reaching beyond Campbellsville, because I talked about Campbellsville. We're in a number of places around the state, whether it's Hodgenville, Harrodsburg, Louisville, Somerset, where I'm about to go, Liberty, Owensboro, different places around the state, many more. But we also have expanded to Chatsworth, California. Now that's part of Los Angeles. In fact, Chatsworth is just modified just slightly. We're now on the Ventura Parkway, just north of Chatsworth. And we moved to a new building out there that gives us a little bit more visibility. The facility in Lathrop closed because of COVID, because of some of the slowdown in graduate programs. We have not reopened that yet. And we're working on the opening of a new location in Ontario, Canada. So this is a really different thing. First of all, universities usually don't go out of their state, but then most certainly seldom go out of their country. So it's been quite a learning curve for all of us. Let's keep on going. Bringing new opportunities to Taylor County. So first of all, I think clearly the most valuable thing we bring to Taylor County is not this. It's actually not the revenue. It's the education. The education is transformational. All you have to do is ask a few people sitting around you at church or in this room or walking down the street. Has Campbellsville University had any impact on the preparation of folks in your family? And you're going to just be inundated with people who, yes, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, somebody has been impacted by that education. And it makes generational difference in this community and in this state. Let me tell you another thing that's really important. Before I leave education, I put up the word training as well. I wanted to remind again that those vocational certificates that Jason Ruth is working so closely with give us not only the opportunity to think about the liberal arts undergraduate degree, a master's degree, a PhD, but that we might prepare somebody for a specific vocational skill that is able to start in our community. And quite often, and this is just a really cool part about what our Commonwealth is doing by partnering directly with the state, hooking those students up to work-ready money that comes from state funding. Most of our students in the program are able to get that certificate without any investment, which is important because they're a full-time student. And so the state is paying for that certificate training. And on the other side of it, our community is benefiting from somebody who has a new skill. So quite often the people that go into these programs don't have another opportunity or trying to figure out how I put bread on the table. And they come out of this program with an incredible certificate that gives them a great opportunity to make a living. Great for our community. Let me tell you about the Masterworks Festival. The Masterworks Festival, well, there's 6 great orchestra festivals across the United States. You've heard of some of them: Wolf Trap, Aspen, Brevard, maybe you have, but one of those great festivals is the Masterworks Festival. But the Masterworks Festival is the only one that has a Christian mission. So all the faculty of the Masterworks Festival are invested in that Christian mission, much like Campbellsville University. Years ago, I went up to Goshen, Indiana, and sang at the Masterworks Festival, and was just so impressed with it. And just shortly after I moved to Campbellsville, somebody called me up from the festival, and they said, "Hey, Joe, we heard you're at a new university. What's the name of it?" Campbellsville. Yeah. And they said, "We're thinking of moving to the festival." This time it was in South Carolina. And they said, "We're looking for a new home." And we were wondering about Campbellsville, but we don't know anything about it. I said, "Well, come on down and visit." So they did, sent some board members down, and they liked it. So they went back home, told the others, they sent some more board members down. And just the other day, I heard the Masterworks Festival is going to be here this summer in Campbellsville, Kentucky. This is an incredible festival. The orchestra, by the way, is 80 members, just to kind of give you an idea of the scale of it. They'll be here from June 18th to July 16th, living on our campus. They will hopefully be a big part of what happens on July 4th. We would love for that, and they seem excited about that. And there'll be 40 concerts presented during that span of time. My hope is that they'll do the same thing here that they did in Indiana and that they did in South Carolina, and that is that people will come from neighboring counties and areas to come and be a part of these concerts. It's world class. We're talking about students that are coming from Juilliard, San Francisco Conservatory, and some of the best high school and collegiate students from around the United States. So really excited to see that thing coming this way. And then I wanted to alert you to some important December events. Here they are. The Christmas Tapestry. It happens this Friday. This is our music program. Our students performing in the chapel will be at 10 o'clock Friday morning and 7 o'clock Friday evening. Tickets are free, but be sure to call and get a ticket reserved. If you don't get a ticket reserved, show up and see if you can get in, but I can't promise that you can get in, so get that ticket to be sure. Also, the Best Christmas Pageant Ever, the musical, will be presented by our theater students. That'll be happening, I think it's December 8th through the 11th. And again, I would encourage you to get a ticket for that. Lots of great things around the corner. Of course, you know there's going to be a lot happening this Saturday as we have the parade downtown. There'll also be the lighting of a Christmas tree on No Plaza right on the corner of campus there. And just for sport and fun, we thought this would be the right year to introduce the first ice skating rink in I think this will be the first ice skating rink in Campbellsville history. So come out and join us. The ice skating rink is going to be right on the side of where Suzanne and I live, right next to the gazebo out there. It's open to the public, $5 a person. Come and join us, or just come and see it. You have to see an ice skating rink in Campbellsville, right? And this is going to be just a fun way for our students to let down their hair, and hopefully for folks like me to stay off the ice and not get injured. But that's my report. Any questions that I could answer? Yes, sir.
Your endowment, how much do you have, and it's growing? And then I got one other question.
Our endowment is shrinking by the day as the market has suffered. So we are down to 35 million. We were 36 million. And so it's a difficult time for anybody that's investing right now. But it will continue to grow as we are going to be disciplined to keep putting monies into that. But hopefully the market will give us a little help too.
The other question is dual credit. Where are those students coming from, and are they on campus?
They're coming from all across the state. So these are students from high schools, really all across the state of Kentucky. And we've been very successful in bringing on new school districts almost every month. In fact, right now, we're even looking at some possibilities outside the state.
So you certify students in the school district? Certified teachers?
We have teachers that we're actually paying to teach our courses that are in the school district. That's right. That's right. So they're getting credit for that class as a high school class. but it also counts as a Campbellsville University course.
How many doctorate degrees can you get a doctorate degree?
Right now, we have 2 active doctorate degrees. We have the doctorate in chiropractic studies, and then we have the PhD in business. And with Frank Cheatham's help, we might be able to develop some others in the future, but we're, that's part of the accreditation piece. As we grow in our accreditation profile, we have the opportunity to add some more. We have some kind of ready to go.
Nurse practitioner program there?
Yes, we have a nurse practitioner at the master's level.
Master's family practice.
Right. Not a doctoral, but
Good to see you.
You're welcome to have one of these. This is a recording that Suzanne and I made over, if you've heard of Bill Gaither or Gaither Studios, we did this over at Gaither Studios, but you'll be able to tell by the picture on the front that it's been a little while since we made this CD, and we really thought we were out of them until just a few days ago, so we're excited to be able to give a few away. Before everybody throws their CD player away, maybe you can play this. We'll try to get most. All right, there you go.
Thank you so much. We have lots of ties to Campbellsville University here. Here with Campbellsville University, we've got Jason England with Campbellsville University, of course, Andy and Jason Ruth. Anybody else? Maddie does some adjunct work. Frank has been known to hang around over there a little bit. So we appreciate our partnership with them.
Trustees. Bill and Rogers.
Mr. Rogers and Paul Oliver.
Yep.
Barry Berger. We just kind of kept Campbellsville University taking over, don't we? I did want to introduce, Joe introduced Andy, but my guest today is Andy Woods, Jason Ruth, and John Easter. So glad to have you guys. Glad to have Daniel back with us. Daniel is actually transitioning out of radio in over to Campbellsville University. How appropriate. And he's Rotarian, and he has not been able to be here for a while because he was on the radio at noon. And so he's back with us. So we're glad to have him back with us. I got a message just a minute ago. Jacob is having surgery Friday. And so I'm not sure what that's about, but he said that, we might need to round up some different help for Saturday night. So what are we doing Saturday night exactly?
We're supposed to be doing hot chocolate.
For the parade, okay?
We have the cups and we have marshmallows and we have candy to pull with, but we thought we had Jacob, so.
Yeah.
We may not do that now, Debbie. We may just give our hot chocolate away.
So y'all can decide. If you need, Andrea, to send out an email about something, let me know. And also Andrea will be sending out an email, for anybody who would like to be adopted by Jack and Debbie. It's a pretty good gig.
Let me tell you, I love doing that. We're so glad that we have the opportunity to meet up here and know that we could even become involved. It's been awesome.
That's great. That's great. Our day of giving, next Friday, the sheet has been around, it's still got holes in it. We need to, check the schedule. If there's any way that you could, commit to some time period. But if you're on Facebook, please make sure, number one, that you like the Rotary page, and then share the graphic on there, letting the community know about the gig. Okay? Next week will be I know you need to go. If you need to go, go ahead. We don't want you to break the ball or anything. More important, we have safe. Thank you so much. Anybody have anything else Rotary related?
I have a check to present.
Oh, yes. By all means, you come around.
All right, this is $2,300 from the Green River Early Childhood Regional Collaborative, and that is to support the Imagination Library.
How cool is that?
You want to hug?
We do that too.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, anybody got anything, anybody else got something to share?
like.
We have now served 933 children.
930, that's awesome. That's life-changing, generational changing, as we're going forward, so it's awesome to be a part of that. Thank you all for being here. Let's stand and close this before we go.
For the things we think they are due,
It's the truth, it's fair for all concerned, will build goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial for all. Hope to see everybody back next week.